Have you ever clicked on something, even when the warning told you not to? That single choice reveals more about courage than fear ever could. You knew there might be pain on the other side, but you still pressed forward. That is the beginning of awakening. This isn't a casual talk about attraction or romance. It's a raw confrontation with truths, the kind that shakes what you believe about loyalty, love, and trust. And truth is rarely comfortable, Marcus Aurelius said. If someone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth. When you open yourself to truth, you also reopen wounds you thought had healed. Scars may burn again, but ask yourself, is it better to live blind in comfort or awake in discomfort? Every man eventually reaches this crossroads, regret for facing a painful truth or freedom that comes only from seeing clearly. Your loyalty is sacred. It is not weakness, it is strength. But what if the woman you've given your loyalty to does not deserve it? This question is not to wound you, but to protect you. Seneca said, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." Yet many men suffer silently because they never dare to face truth. This message was not made for clicks or vanity. It comes from men whose voices remain unspoken. Their pain is ignored, but real. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your reaction today will decide whether you remain bound by illusions or rise into clarity. So take a deep breath. Truth may sting, but it will also strengthen you. Just as a sword is forged in fire, your spirit is shaped by facing what others run from. If you're ready to step into that fire, declare it. I see the truth, because the first step to freedom is no longer hiding from it. November 6, 1948, Chicago. A man named David Miller, 34 years old, began his story of hope. He married Claire Evans, believing he had found a love that would last forever. It was not a forced union or a hasty decision. It was love, deep and consuming. Claire once said, "David, you're all I want for my entire life." But words are fragile. Promises can fade, and what seems eternal can wither in silence. At first, their life was filled with affection. But months later, cracks appeared not from betrayal or abuse, but from small frictions, dinners, bills, the air in the house. David worked 2 jobs, exhausting himself to build stability. He didn't seek riches, only peace, companionship, and quiet nights beside his wife. His wealth was his loyalty. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself." David believed this, but Claire's heart drifted elsewhere. She began ignoring him, disrespecting him, pulling away emotionally and physically. Excuses piled up: work, traffic, stress. But the truth was harsher. She had already left the marriage in spirit. Epictetus reminded us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. David endured silently, thinking patience would restore love, but silence only deepened the distance. On November 1st, 1949, their first anniversary, David came home early, carried Claire's favorite cherry pie and a single rose wrapped in old paper. A simple gift, born of sincerity, not wealth. He longed only to touch her heart, but instead of celebration, he found silence. On the table lay a letter, a guillotine in ink. "David, I can't live like this anymore. You work all day, but it's not enough. I'm pregnant, but not with your child. I'm leaving tonight. Don't look for me." These words destroyed his world. The woman he sacrificed for had not only betrayed him, but carried another man's child. The rose wilted. In his hand, the pie fell to the floor. Seneca once wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." But David's suffering was reality, raw, undeniable, unbearable. 87 minutes later, David was gone. His final note: "Read, happy anniversary, Claire. I gave you everything I had. Maybe it wasn't enough for you, but it was all of me. I loved you, even when you stopped loving me. Goodbye." This tragedy is not fiction. It is a reminder of what betrayal costs a man who gave his soul and was left shattered. David's story echoes the silent pain of countless men who loved deeply and lost everything. Guard your heart, brother. Not every woman deserves the sacred key to it. Remember Epictetus, you become what you give your attention to. Choose wisely what you give, for it may cost you your very life. The image of David's despair lingers, a man broken not by failure, but by misplaced trust. His story reminds us of an uncomfortable truth. Betrayal is not rare. Today, more than half of men face rejection, abandonment, or betrayal after giving their all. They offer loyalty, dreams, and comfort, only to receive mockery or silence in return. As Seneca wrote, "We are always complaining that our days are few, and acting as though there would be no end of them. Too many waste years on those unworthy of their devotion." For many women, love is conditional. It is measured not by loyalty, but by material comfort. They don't love the man, they love what he provides. This truth is harsh, but necessary. Marcus Aurelius warned, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." It's not every heart values sacrifice. Some see love as currency, loyalty as a tool, and men as providers of comfort rather than partners in life. So, brother, guard your soul. Your heart is a temple. Not every woman deserves its key. Declare to yourself, "I see the truth." Because awakening begins when illusions end. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." If you value your worth, you will not give it cheaply. David's story is not just about one man. It reflects thousands who suffer silently, carrying scars they never speak of. When love turns into betrayal, the man who gave everything is left questioning his own value. But let this lesson sharpen you, not shatter you. A sword is not made weaker by the fire, it is made stronger. So too with your spirit. You are not broken by truth, you are refined by it. Awareness is your shield. Not every woman is like Claire, but the wrong one can dismantle your soul while sleeping peacefully. The right woman builds with you. The wrong one consumes you without remorse. The choice is not always clear, but your vigilance protects your peace. Seneca reminded us, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Let these truths be the friction that polishes your spirit. Do not fear them. Brace them and rise. Awareness, brother, is the shield that protects your peace. Not every woman is like Claire, but the wrong one can quietly dismantle your spirit. The danger often hides not in loud betrayal, but in subtle wars fought at home. Arguments may seem small, but for some women, they are not about resolution. They are about control. She does not argue to heal the wound, but to see you tremble. Her victory lies in watching you break. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events."
Oh, yes.
Realize this, and you will find strength. But in these battles, your calmness is twisted into coldness. Your silence is framed as weakness. Your vulnerability is mocked as manipulation. Every effort you make to preserve peace is turned against you. This is not love, it is warfare in disguise. When you walk away from conflict to guard your peace, she calls it running. When you admit pain, she accuses you of playing the victim. Each move you make is redefined to maintain her dominance. Epictetus taught, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." But here lies the trap. She makes you believe even your dignity is beyond your control. She studies your patience, not to love it, but to break it. This is psychological warfare. Dressed in silk, manipulation cloaked in affection. It is subtle, but devastating. She thrives when you doubt yourself. Your generosity becomes her weapon, your kindness her ammunition. What you gave as love, she twists into tools to dominate. And the darkest truths she will never admit her intent. As Seneca wrote, "No man is crushed by misfortune unless he has first been deceived by prosperity." Likewise, no man is undone unless he first trusted a false promise of love. Brother, understand this. If her arguments are not about healing, but about power, you are not in love, you are at war. And in such wars, you are the only one bleeding. Do not surrender your peace to someone who thrives on your pain. For true love seeks harmony, not victory. Guard your spirit, for that is the ground no one should conquer but you. Brother, not all betrayal comes through open conflict. Sometimes it hides behind a smile. A woman may charm your mother at the dinner table, laugh at her stories, and nod respectfully. Yet behind closed doors, she pours poison into your ear. Her true intent is not respect, but resentment. This is not love, it is deception, Epictetus said. If evil be spoken of you, and it be true, correct yourself. If it be a lie, laugh at it. But how do you laugh when the attack comes from the one who vowed to stand by you? A woman who secretly resents your family does not hate them, she envies the bond you share. She wants to sever you from your roots until you are easier to control. Marcus Aurelius taught, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." If she despises the very people who shaped you, how can she truly love you? A loyal partner navigates family tension with grace, but the wrong woman smiles in public and schemes in private. Her goal is to make you choose between her and the people who raised you. That is not partnership, it is domination. Then comes another sign, competition. When you share your victories, she does not celebrate you, she competes with you. Your success threatens her pride. Instead of support, she reminds you of her own struggles, or belittles your achievement, Seneca wrote. He who is jealous of another diminishes his own worth. True partner sees your victory as her own, but the wrong woman sees your light and fears her shadow. Slowly, you begin to dim yourself to preserve her comfort. You shrink so she does not feel small. But this is not love, it is rivalry wrapped in romance. Love is not a ladder of who is above or below. It is two souls rising together. If she competes, she cannot complete you. Brother, beware these quiet betrayals, the smile that hides disdain, the pride that turns celebration into competition. Epictetus reminded us the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. If she pulls you down instead of lifting you, she is not your ally. She is an anchor, and you were not born to sink. You were born to rise. Another red flag, brother, is her inability to apologize. A good woman admits her mistakes. A destructive one twists every truth until you are the villain. When caught in a lie, she sheds tears, reverses the blame, or calls you overreactive. Soon you find yourself apologizing for her faults, just to keep the peace. This is not reconciliation. It is manipulation, Seneca warned. He who is brave is free. But how can you be free when you are bound by her pride? A woman who never apologizes does not see humility as strength, but as weakness. She would rather watch the relationship burn than lower her walls. Even when she says sorry, it is strategic, a pause to reload, not a bridge to healing. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You should leave another's wrong where it lies. You're tamed. But when you are chained to someone who never admits wrong, you cannot leave it. You carry the weight of both, your faults and hers. This is not love, it is a cage built from pride. And in that cage, only one voice matters, and it will never be yours." Epictetus reminded us, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. If she refuses to learn from her mistakes, she will repeat them endlessly. A true partner values growth. The wrong one values control. The more you bend to keep the peace, the more you lose yourself. And a man who loses himself cannot protect what he loves, brother. Love without accountability is not love, it is conquest. It is a battlefield where truth is twisted in apologies. Are weapons, not healing. Ask yourself, does she seek peace or does she seek power? If she cannot bow to truth, she will never stand with you in truth. Guard your dignity. Do not surrender it to someone who believes admitting fault is defeat. For true love is not about who wins it, it is about who grows. And growth cannot happen without humility. Brother, the most dangerous battles are not fought with fists or shouts, but with whispers that cut the soul. A toxic woman may never raise her voice, yet she dismantles you piece by piece with subtle attacks. She mocks your emotions, belittles your feelings, and calls you weak for showing pain. This is not love, it is psychological warfare. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But when every reaction you give is twisted into proof of your flaws, Even your strength becomes a weapon used against you. She provokes you until you reach your limit. And when you finally react, she points at you as if you are the problem. You were not born angry. Brother, you were shaped into anger by constant provocation. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. But here lies the trap. She breaks your peace, then tells you that you are broken. She drives you into confusion, then accuses you of being unstable. This cycle is designed to make you doubt yourself, to silence your voice until you no longer. Recognize who you are, Seneca wrote. No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, or he is not permitted to prove himself. In this silent war, you are given the chance to prove yourself not to her, but to your own soul. The test is whether you will continue surrendering or whether you will stand and reclaim your dignity. This is not partnership. It is emotional. Conquest dressed as love. It is affection used as camouflage for control. Brother, if she thrives on watching you unravel, you are not her partner, you are her prisoner. And no man was born to live in chains. Guard your peace. For real love does not provoke you to destruction and call it passion. Real love allows you to breathe, to be heard, to stand in truth without fear. Epictetus reminded us, no man is free who is not master of himself. Do not hand over that mastery. Do not let her turn your love into a battlefield where only she claims victory. Your heart was not made for war, it was made for peace. Brother, the cruelest betrayal is not loud. It comes in silence. A woman may not scream or slam doors, but she quietly dismantles your peace while smiling. She tells you that you are too dramatic, too sensitive, not a real man. Is not understanding, it is your surrender. Each subtle remark chips away at your confidence until you begin to doubt your own worth. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." But in her hands, even your strength is turned into weakness. She wants you to believe you are broken, when in truth, it is her poison that corrodes the bond. Her tactic is not passion, but quiet erosion. Epictetus reminded us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. If you let her redefine who you are, you will forget your own design. You will stop speaking your truth, silencing yourself just to avoid conflict. And in that silence, brother, a man slowly dies. You were not created to be her toy or her slave. You were created to stand as a partner, not a prisoner, Seneca said. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. This pain you feel now is friction. It can sharpen you, if you allow it. The wrong woman will make you think your love was not enough, but the truth is, you were her foundation, her peace, the pillar of a world she could not build alone. She leaned on your strength while searching for her next step. Her betrayal does not diminish your value, it exposes hers. So, brother, let go of the illusion. If she leaves chasing wealth, status, or another man, let her go. Do not chase shadows. For one day, she will realize that money can buy comfort, but it will never buy true loyalty. Your heart was gold and she traded it for dust. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Keep your thoughts pure, keep your soul guarded, and never forget your worth." Her rejection is not the end of you, it is the unveiling of her. Brother, do not think David's story was just a tale from the past. It is not fiction, it is reality repeated in the lives of countless men today. Over half of men have faced betrayal, abandonment, or rejection after giving everything. Gave loyalty, dreams, and comfort, only to be discarded. This pain is not rare, it is widespread, though few dare to speak it. One follower shared David's story with me, pleading, "Tell the truth, too many men are suffering in silence." Even in his grief, he chose to rise above bitterness. He gave to a mission greater than himself, feeding the hungry, helping animals in need. This is what it means to transform pain into purpose. As Marcus Aurelius said, what stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle becomes fuel for growth, Seneca wrote. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Betrayal is heavy, but it can be the weight that builds resilience. Right. David's tragedy is not just about loss, it is about what men can learn when illusions collapse. Pain can bury you, or it can sharpen you. The choice lies within. Epictetus reminded us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. How you see betrayal determines what it does to you. If you see it as the end, it breaks you. If you see it as revelation, it frees you. Wrong woman exposes herself by her actions, but your response defines whether you remain chained or rise stronger. Brother, this is why awareness matters. Guard your soul. Do not give your loyalty to those who cannot honor it. Instead, live with clarity. Let betrayal awaken you, not destroy you. For a man who learns from pain is no longer its victim, he becomes its master. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. So stand tall. If you've suffered betrayal, know you are not alone. This brotherhood carries the same scars. And together we can turn wounds into wisdom, pain into strength, and silence into truth. Brother, remember, this your pain is not weakness. It is proof that you loved with everything you had. But even the deepest wounds can forge the strongest steel. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. Stands. In the way becomes the way. Your suffering can be transformed into power if you choose to rise. Many men think betrayal is the end of their story. In truth, it is the beginning of clarity. A woman may discard your loyalty, but she cannot erase your worth. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You may lose her, but do not lose yourself. Guard your soul, for that is the treasure no one can take without your consent. Seneca reminded us, fire tests gold, suffering tests. Brave men, your heartbreak is the fire, but you are the gold. You're not defined by rejection, but by how you stand after it. Do not let betrayal chain you to bitterness. Instead, let it refine you into wisdom, strength, and calm resolve. The wrong woman may have broken your trust, but she cannot break your spirit unless you allow it. Brother, this path is not about revenge or despair, it is about awakening. The pain you feel is shared by countless men who stand beside you in silence. But together, scars can become weapons, wounds can become wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." In this you have the power to revoke at any moment, where power lies in how you choose to see this chapter. So take a deep breath. Let the sting of truth sharpen you, not shatter you. Declare it boldly. I see the truth, for once you stop hiding from reality, you are free. Your heart remains your greatest power, and no betrayal can take that from you.